Why do you believe that Rosh Hashanah is the rapture? Why do you associate those two?
I associate the Rosh Hashanah with the resurrection of the dead for multiple reasons. One of them is in Daniel, where it talks about those who sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. Well, the Hebrew word Rosh Hashanah is biblically known as Yom. Teruah.
Right.
And teruah basically means a shout, like if someone shouts to wake you up. It resembles an alarm. And so Yom Teruah is the day to awaken those who are asleep. It's also a 2-day feast. So no one knows the day or the hour it would begin. Everyone knows when the full moon is, when you start with the new moon, but no one knows for sure when the new moon is. And all of Israel had to celebrate Rosh Hashanah until they would light fires quickly all during the night to reach clear over to Babylon so that people would know that it was Rosh Hashanah. That's the one feast that was always known as the feast. No one knew the day or the hour it would begin. Now, in the New Testament, when it talks about the last trump, historically, they blow on Rosh Hashanah 100 blasts of the shofar. There's 3 different types of blasts that they blow, and the last blast is known, or the 100th blast is known as the last trump. So when Paul talks about the last trump, he's specifically referring to the 100th blast of the shofar on the Feast of Trumpets. It's also known as the day of the coronation of the king. I believe Psalm 47 is the coronation of the king's psalm that is sung. But everything is set up on Rosh Hashanah for the resurrection of the dead to take place. If you go to our Feast of the Lord, we have, I had a whole series on the Feast of the Lord. It was, and then we moved it to God's Daytimer, and that's been out of print now. So we recreated that God's Daytimer reprint with a workbook so people can do studies. But I go through explaining how every feast has to be fulfilled to the day and why the resurrection of the dead takes place on the Feast of Trumpets.
So it's some year, and you and I both are saying to people watching and listening to this right now, pay attention to next September.
This coming September is huge.
It's huge. And so no predictions, but
No
it's huge.
predictions.
But when you look at, God does things on purpose and he does things on time. And so what you're saying, it's a Shemitah year, it's a Jubilee year. You have
and the Hawk Hell.
The Hawk Hell. All of those things are massive, pointing to this year, plus the things that are happening in the world. If there's ever been a time to get ready, this is the time. And
exactly.
I would rather be ready and he not come than not be ready and he come.
And the thing is this, in the Gospels, it talks a parable about how he delayed his coming. And so for some reason, even though this is the major season, he may choose to delay it.
Sure.
But the key is every Rosh Hashanah, we have to be watching, more specifically at the beginning of a Shemitah cycle. Now, when people talk about not knowing the day of the hour, my question is, are you talking about we don't know the day of the hour of the rapture, or we don't know the day of the hour when the tribulation begins, or we don't know the day of the hour when the Antichrist is revealed, or we don't know the day of the hour of the two witnesses? So which one does that apply to? I don't think it applies to everything. We're supposed to be done with our head in the sand like an ostrich.
Right.
I really believe beyond a shadow of a doubt, the tribulation has to begin on Rosh Hashanah some year. So if it does, I'm not talking about the resurrection of the dead being this year, it could happen. But I really believe there's a good chance the tribulation could begin this year. If it doesn't, it might be, 7 years from now.
I want to thank you for watching this Tipping Point clip. And I want you to subscribe to the channel. I want you, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and click subscribe there. And thank you for watching and subscribing. I want you to join our Tipping Point community at endtimes.com. For $7 a month, you can subscribe and you have a 7-day free trial. So if you just want to check it out for 7 days, go on endtimes.com, check us out for 7 days, but I can promise you, you're going to love the content. You're going to be getting the Tipping Point show, the full show, every single week, as well as articles and video content from great teachers like Greg Laurie and Mark Hitchcock, and of course myself. Be sure to subscribe to be notified when we release more videos like this. God bless you.